got that righteous heart, you're not a bitch ass motherfucker for real, and you a team player, then things are gonna fucking work out for you, man. If you believe that, make some noise.
Hi, my name is Chris, and I've come to the conclusion that, well, first my food is ready. Give me a second. I gotta eat when the video's over though, because I don't really have a lot of time. I got about 10 minutes or so. So, I've come to the conclusion that I don't have a lot of time for things that don't keep and make me happy. That includes people, jobs, and situations all around. Now, the world will not always cater to keep me happy, but I have come up with a few, things that help me to maintain my happiness, and I want to share that with you in hopes that it helps you to also maintain your happiness. And before I get into the very nitty-gritty of things I do exactly, I just want to say that people often ask me a question of, how are you so confident to go out and do weird things in public and not feel judged? And I often have to tell people, I am self-conscious. I am self-aware. I realize how weird I look. I realize that others are constantly judging you. But I've reached a point in my life where I just have to say I don't care. I just don't care. Like, yeah, things will get to me sometimes, and some judgments will, of course, make it through my armor. But for the most part, if I'm having fun and I'm laughing and it's bringing me joy, that's all I need to know. I don't need to care if some dude I don't know is like, oh, that's weird, or some dude that I do know is like, oh, that's weird. Like, I have a friend who was recently on my podcast who is like as cool as a cucumber. That's how I want to describe him. And I know for a fact that when he saw me out recently and I'm dressed like an idiot and I'm dancing around and I'm having a time of my life, parts of him are slightly judging me. But I would be remiss to think that parts of him aren't slightly jealous that he doesn't do the same thing. But again, that may not even be how he wants to be. That's just me. But I'm also, again, very proud of being that. And I don't really care that other people seeing me or laughing at me, because I've already been through that. I went through that in high school already. I was very self-conscious. I would walk into a room and I would think that they were laughing at me. Like, I would walk into a room thinking, oh man, they must think that I walk funny, right? I've told the story before a million times. And that like anxiety of thinking that I can't even walk in a room supercharged me to a place where I'm like, no, I'm walking in a room, and if you're laughing at me, I don't even care. I'm just gonna kick it and have a good time. And as soon as I started doing that, the actual reaction from other people when they vocalize it was like, yo, that's awesome. Yo, that's cool. I wish I could do that. I want to be like that. And that means that everyone wants to be free. Everyone wants to be open. Everyone wants to be happy and not be stuck in their head constantly. Being in your head too much is a problem. It stops you from just relaxing and enjoying things. It stops you from being adventurous. It stops you from just being. You know, that's why I think a lot of people in our society feel the need to get constantly wasted out of their freaking minds, because they don't know how to be human. They don't know how to just be a person who can just turn a switch and be fun and be carefree. These shorts are some shorts that I just wore recently on purpose and in public. And I decided that next time I go out, I'm gonna try to wear these non-ironically. If they look short to you, that's because they are. But they were part of my costume for a Stranger Things cosplay, if you will. And I wore it out, and I had a freaking blast. Everyone loved it, and I got to say that it gave me a new sense of freedom. So if you're struggling with your happiness right now, or things are making you happy, you got to switch up your mode of operations. You got to do something different. So here's the overarching point of this whole video, though. I'm going to tell you a couple stories of some things that happened to me recently, because I kind of reached an apex of like, I'm getting close to 40, and I just don't want to spend my time being unhappy. So there's a meeting at my job. It happens every week. And I will be very honest with you and tell you that I hate that meeting. I hate it. Like the 10 minutes before it starts, I get an alert from my phone that goes, this meeting will start soon. And I go, all right, here we go. I got to brace myself. And every time I go into the meeting, it's always about me. Now, when they first started the meeting, it was about everyone else's like stuff or issues or chatting or walking through things. And I was like, yeah, this is great. We're all coming in and powwowing. But literally every meeting that followed was about me. Me. And not things that I was necessarily doing wrong, but just like things. They were like, hey, how are you doing on this? How is this going for you? And I'm like, I don't want to talk about it right now. I've already had these other meetings all week about other stuff. And I don't want to do it. But I'm not saying that, though. You know what I mean? I'm feeling it, and it's giving me anxiety, and I hate it, and it's like the worst, like, 30 minutes of my life. Not really. It's a bad 30 minutes of my life, but it's still stressful, and I don't like it. So today, this happened today. This literally happened today. We got in a meeting, and we were, like, getting ready to wrap it up, and they go, like, do you have anything? And I just go, I have to ask a question. And this has been building up for, like, 3 months. And I just go, can this meeting not be about me every week? And again, it's hard for me to do that kind of things. I want to be perceived as nice and always friendly and easy to work with. But I've found over time, especially in business, that being really nice gets you walked all over. But being assertive, while it doesn't give people the warm and fuzzies, does get you somewhere. And you get more respect when you stand your ground and can give an intelligent reply as to why something should or shouldn't happen, right? So I just said, like, yeah, this meeting I feel like is always about me, and it's a little confusing. Like, I thought this meeting was about all of us coming together to, like, you know, collaborate. But it feels like each week we're focused on my stuff, and I don't think we need to put a spotlight on me. And I would be remiss not to say, let's move this to twice a month instead of every single week. And then I will, you know, cover the rest of the work in individual meetings with each people as I need to have them. And surprisingly, the team was receptive to that. Now, I'll admit, the guy who brought up the question, an issue of like, you know, so what are you thinking? He was like, okay. Then it was quiet. And then someone else goes, that works for me. And then someone else goes, yeah, I guess that's great. And I think they're used to people, I don't know, rolling over and taking it. Because to me, that meeting felt really abusive. It really felt like they were coming in with their grievances towards me, or like, how's this going for you? And I know it wasn't even that aggressive. I think they were trying to help. But the tones of these people frustrated me to no end. And I realized that I do not want to spend even one day a week being miserable. Even if it's like for 30 minutes. I don't want to do it. I just don't. You know, and in a weird way, I feel like having issues like in relationships, like dating or not, has kind of spilled over to me, to where I'm learning to be more communicative and more direct about what I want, and more direct about the things I need, and more direct about the things that I require. And that is making me the same way at work. Because I don't want to spend all this time, like 8 hours a day? If that, you know what I mean? Sometimes 10? Not being happy. It's why this last year, you guys don't even know this. I have a whole video I got to plan on it. But like, I quit. Or got fired from at least one. 5 jobs in the last year? You know, like it's because I refuse to be unhappy. And to be real with you, this job I'm at right now makes me really happy, except that meeting. And so I'm going to stay, and I'm pumped about it. Like, it's great. But I'm just at a point where I just cannot be unhappy. And so you got to take that energy that you feel from other things, where you're able to be assertive and able to be direct, and put it in that other direction too. Like, close your eyes, black out a little bit, and go, okay, I'm not happy. What am I going to do about it? How am I going to change it? Am I going to sit there and just take it? Am I going to sit there and just pretend like everything's okay? Am I going to just suck it up and hate something every week? Or am I going to say something about it and see if it changes? Because had I not said anything, I would still have that meeting coming up next week. But guess what? Now I don't. Yeah, I'll have it in another 2 weeks, but I can at least brace myself and get ready for that, or have an agenda, or build something up. I just really don't want to be unhappy in any situation. let alone what I'm stuck in every day. That could be a relationship, that could be a job, that could be friendships. I do not want to be stuck in anything that does not make me happy. So make an assessment. Sit down and think about things in your life. Make a list and go, does this make me happy? If it doesn't, you may have to get rid of it. You may have to speak up. It might be uncomfortable. But like those moments of comfortability will be more than nourished or changed or shifted by the lifelong achievement of just being happy because you made things uncomfortable. And just to give you an idea of the things that make me happy, I'll show you what I wore each day at Lollapalooza, which is a big music festival here in Chicago, and I worked it. I worked as a bartender of sorts, and I had a blast doing customer service, had a blast lifting things, had a blast running around, had a blast wearing the weird outfits, and I love it, right? And people in the crowd loved it too. People who came up to our counter, our bar, loved it too. And it brought people joy. So if your happiness brings people joy, double down on it. It might be uncomfortable at first. It really will. It will be. I remember when I first started being more open about things and being more silly or just outwardly goofy, it was uncomfortable. It was. And it made me go, okay, am I doing the right thing? But once you start getting good reactions, once you start feeling good about yourself, once you start feeling very comfortable no matter what you were doing, it changed the game, baby. It changed the freaking game. And I want you to have that same thing. So write me down below the thing that you do to give you confidence or something that you want confidence in. Ask me a question, whatever it might be, and let's chat. My name's Chris, and Albert's Teleport.